Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Vivadivine on YouTube, the V-Blog. And today we're picking up where we left off the last time. We're talking about Dharma, and of course Dharma is just another word for purpose. The last time we spoke, we talked about, looking at people that might inspire you to kind of give you clues as to probably what you will do for your life purpose. This time, we're talking about one of my favorite topics. We're talking about synchronicity. So what is a synchronicity? A synchronicity could be called a meaningful coincidence, something that stands out. It's a little bit deeper and broader than a regular coincidence. Or a synchronicity could also be called a wink from the cosmos, or I just like to say this, that synchronicity is God's way of trying to tell you something. It makes you pay attention. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of one of the coolest synchronicities I've had recently. I had to write a piece for the blog on synchronicity a couple of weeks ago, and it was very interesting because I went online to find an image I could use for the piece. I came across something on a website from a girl by the name of Amy Jalapeno, and it was a word picture, and it said, "Hesitation is synchronicity's nightmare, and acceptance is its wonder." And I thought, what an awesome word picture. I've got to use this picture. So of course I reached out to Amy, and in the process of reaching out to her to ask her permission to use her image, I started to look through her blog and started to read her story. And it turns out that Amy Jalapeno and I have pretty much the same life story. So of course I had to reach out to her and just explain to her how I thought it was very interesting that I'm writing a piece on synchronicity, find a picture about synchronicity, and have a synchronized event with a woman that I don't know. But you know what? I made a new friend on the internet. So that's a good example of how the cosmos or the universe or God just kind of goes, tap, tap, pay attention. Or, sometimes we need those little push to say, oh, you know what? All the synchronized events that happened in my life before that I might have been questioning, here's an example where, you know what, I'm right on track. So the universe does its job in trying to get your attention and keeping you on track with synchronicity. So one of the things that I want to tell you about is one of the biggest synchronized events in my life, and you're looking at it. Vivadivine. 26 years ago, a friend of mine gave me this name, and I kind of held on to it for years. Just kind of use it for random stuff, not really thinking about things. But you might not realize this, but for 20-something years, I was in a very controlling belief system. And so what I'm doing today, I couldn't do then. But something started happening with my mind and little messages about Vivadivine, and I went back and I looked at some dates to see if I had been subconsciously or consciously getting synchronized messages from God that told me, hold on to this name. One of the first things I did about 8 years ago is I locked down the DNS name for Vivadivine.com. And ironically, next year, I'm going to get to use that Vivadivine.com to build a website that is going to be amazing. Stay tuned. In 2006, I created a YouTube channel that I just started using this year. And in 2008, I created a blog that I never, ever wrote on anything substantive or substantial until this year. So when I had to do this exercise and look at my life's purpose and look at all the dots that I'm connecting, Vivadivine stood out to me. So that's another example of synchronicity. Another way synchronicity pops up in your life is with people. 26 years ago, I met some awesome people, and I walked away from all of them. I went back into my religious background that I grew up in, and so I lost touch with all of them. When I had my spiritual awakening and came out of that mind fog and came back out into the world and was putting my life together, every single one of those people showed back up into my life. And so I know that these people are part of a grander purpose. I also met people that I probably would have met. And I'll give you an example. I met a lady at my former place of employment. I kept running into her in the coffee area almost 3 or 4 times a week. And something said to me, pay attention. Well, we became very good friends over a very short time period. And one day she sent me a picture. It was a throwback Thursday photo of her back from the 80s. And I almost fell off my chair. Because when I saw that picture, I said to her, I know you. I have seen you. It was as if she was going to be part of that group of friends that I had met 26 years ago. But because I altered my life plan, I missed her. But guess what? She showed back up right when I needed her. So synchronicities can happen in situations, and they can happen with people. They're just little clues, little signs that God is trying to tell you something to pay attention because it's part of a bigger purpose. So that's what we're going to talk about. And you know me, I'll make these great flick flubs, but we talk about that next week. What I want to do is talk about spiritual awakening signs. And I'm doing this because one of my friends, a subscriber, Cece, she said that we should talk more about that. So next time around, we'll talk about some more spiritual awakening signs and what you can experience when you are waking up. It's a very interesting topic. So until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.